This is Janae Gravison, and you're listening to the Bomber Buzz.
It's a great day in the Bomber Nation, and you're listening to the Bomber Buzz. This is Principal Jacob Jenkins, and joining me, as usual, is Dean of Students, Mr. Paul Rudolph. Paul, how's it going today?
It's going fantastic.
Beautiful week.
Beautiful week, and how can we complain? Late October, and we're still seeing sunshine and
right?
50 degrees, and
no
I guess,
blizzards yet.
I guess we could complain about the lack of moisture for the last 40 days or whatever, but
that's pretty small beans.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, without a doubt. It's when you can get into late October, we haven't had any blizzards or really. I mean, I think where I live at in Minot, I don't know that we've had freezing temperature yet.
Maybe
we've got some flowers out still that haven't, as of last night, as of the late afternoon or 7 o'clock last night, that hadn't froze.
Yeah.
I think it was 37 when I left the house this morning before weights. So I don't think it dropped below, at least where I live.
There you go.
I
mean, it's such a stark difference between last year on this date.
Oh, without a doubt.
We were late start to school because we had 2 days off from blizzards.
Isn't that crazy?
I'll take this.
Yeah, well, I agree with you.
Plenty of that coming up. Well, what do we got kind of a light week this week. We're kind of in that transition now where fall sports wind down and winter sports will start gearing up here. So what do we got coming up this week?
We do. Monday is senior night for the girls volleyball team. We'll celebrate 7 seniors. And then they also play rugby,
right.
3 games. So starts at 4:45, 5:45, and 7. And then a little bit of ceremony there before the 7 o'clock game for the seniors. And then Thursday would be our next activity. That's the girls' first round of the districts. And we earn the 4 seed, and we play Glenburn, the 5 seed, right around roughly 4:30. First game would be our Redeemers versus MLS, and we'll play 25 minutes after that game. So right around that 4:30 area. And then Friday we'd play, but obviously that's to be determined based on what goes on Thursday. On Friday there's also the Northwest Music Festival, I believe at the Dome.
Yes.
Or in Minot, I should say.
Yeah.
Correct. So that's Friday and Saturday, I believe, is the Northwest Music Festival. So that's really what's going on next week.
That's great. Where are districts at this year?
Districts are at the auditorium.
Okay,
and then
auditorium.
Correct. And I mean, it could be the last year for the auditorium. We go to that 3-class volleyball system next year.
Then, yeah.
Right. And there's some, because now the Stanleys and the Ned Roses and the DLBs and South Prairies are also looking to find a facility.
Right.
So one of us will probably end up at the Dome. One of us will end at the auditorium. And, as crazy as it sounds, people are fighting for the auditorium because that Dome is just so expansive.
It feels
just so big,
like,
right? If you don't get enough crowd in there, or
that's right.
It just feels like it's expansive, and so we're both kind of fighting for the auditorium. So we'll see where that goes, but hopefully we end up with it.
It is interesting how different 100 people feels in the Dome versus the auditorium.
Oh, goodness.
In the Dome, it feels like you don't have anybody there, but in the auditorium, it feels like you got a good crowd.
Yeah, and then if they spread out in the Dome, it's even worse. Like if you can get them behind a bench or something, you might feel like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
But, back when I was going to college, quick story about that expansiveness. When the girls played, or the ladies played basketball, they didn't even open up the one side of the floor.
Oh, really?
So you just felt like you were in the biggest box ever. You know what I mean? Like it never ended.
Yeah.
I always felt bad for them for we can't even pull the bleachers out, but you know what I mean? I thought it was a horrible venue at the time for that purpose.
Yeah. Well, right on. I'll also mention on Friday, November 1st, we're going to be taking 7th grade and we're going to do Leaf It to Me. We want to give to our community, 7th and 8th grade, Leaf It to Me. If you need your yard raked, or if you know someone that is having trouble that could really use an assist having their yard in town, we're just doing properties in town area, we're going to come out and do that. We're going to go around town. We're going to rake. We're going to help people who are having some, troubles and things like that, and try to clean up a little bit for them before the real weather kind of starts.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's weather dependent, obviously. If it snows or if it's raining or something like that, that'll change. But if you know someone, or if you have a yard that you could really use some help with, you live within the area of Berthold here, please just call the school. Let Melissa Shep, she's our secretary, doing a great job. Let her know that you'd like to be added to the list. All we need is your address, and then we'll get a hold of you and let you know. First come, first serve. So we're just going to kind of start at the top of the list and work our way down. And so that's November 1st. So if you want to be added or know someone that wants to add, please just contact the school. We'll have some information on that up on our website here pretty quick as well.
Yeah, good program.
Yeah. Paul, anything else for this week?
No, that's about everything. I don't, been pretty normal. We're still got a bunch of good kids and still enjoying every day. Right?
That's right. That's right. Well, we've got quite a great episode here today. We've got Brooklyn Bloms. She's a senior, and she's going to do her senior spotlight today. We have a really nice conversation with her. Stay tuned for that. And then we're also going to hear from Mrs. Grayce Taylor. She's our high school English teacher, and she's also the FCA advisor. And that's the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And she's the advisor. We're going to talk about what that is and kind of a little bit about it and how to get involved if you want to be involved. So lots of great stuff on today's episode. Stick with us. Do you like coffee? Who doesn't? We've got a great fundraiser going on right now in the Bomber Nation. It's the Driven Coffee Fundraiser. You can purchase from all elementary students. They have coffee, ground. We've got K-Cups, tea, cocoa mix, and there's some snacks that you can get too. They're all $20 each. If you would like to participate in this fundraiser, talk to any of our elementary students. Every item on the list is only $20, so it makes it nice and easy. You can pay by cash or by check. If you pay by check, just make it out to LNC Berthold. Again, that's a Driven Coffee fundraiser that's going on right now until October 29th. That's the last day. All orders need to be in on the 29th. So if you want some good coffee or some good snacks, like maybe a backyard country blend of peanuts, almonds, cashews, candies, and raisins. Maybe you want some ground French roast or ground Highlander grog, their most popular selection. You can get all that through this. We've got Prairie Passion Tea and Driven Hot Cocoa Mix. A lot of good things to choose from. Just talk to one of our elementary students. Again, orders are due with the students by the 29th. Berthold Farmers Elevator is open 5 days a week, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. If you have spring wheat, corn, canola, durum, yellow peas, or feed barley, make sure to give them a call at 453-3431. Visit their website at bertholdfarmers.com for the latest in market, weather, and news information. Berthold Farmers Elevator is a proud sponsor of the Bomber Nation.
This is Tracy Blums with your fun fact for the week. Did you know that it is impossible for crocodiles to stick out their tongue? Now you know.
We're back on the Bomber Buzz, and with us today we have Brooklyn Bloms. She's a senior, and she's going to tell us all about herself today. Brooklyn, welcome to the Buzz.
Hi, glad to be here.
It's great to have you.
It is exciting to have you. Let's get rolling. Tell us a little bit about your parents and your family.
So I am the oldest in my family. My parents are Monty and Nikki Blums. I have two younger sisters that are freshmen, Addison and Brinley Blums, and then Rhett, who is a third grader.
He keeps you running, doesn't he?
Very much, yes.
Does Rhett have a different demeanor than the three girls?
Yes. He is definitely more like me in the sense that there's always something to do. He's always moving, always talking. It's really weird how it rolls like that.
Yeah.
There is similarities like between you and him, and then the two middle girls have more similarities between. Of course, but whatever. It's noticeable to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Very noticeable, especially I get Red out on the playground or I sit with him at lunch. Boy, oh boy, he's a mile a minute.
Yeah. I was always told that when I was younger, I was always talking too. Like now I feel like I've kind of quieted down, but when I was in kindergarten, I was late to kindergarten because I was talking to the high schoolers in the lunchroom.
See, there you go. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
There you go. Well, since we're on family, tell us a favorite family activity. You guys have anything that you do that's like, yeah, this is really cool,
Yeah.
or something you might admire, or whatever it might be?
Yeah, my family is very spontaneous. We don't really have many things that are planned, and if they do, it never usually goes as planned. There's something that always is different. So, like anything like spontaneous game nights. Like if Dad comes home from work and he goes, "You want to play cards, Monopoly, dice? Like, want to do something here?" We're like, "Sure." Or even just throwing on a movie and popping popcorn. Like, it's the most random things, but turn out to be the most fun things ever.
Yeah, that's good times.
That is.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, how about when you were talking about you're in kindergarten, you're talking to the high school kids. When you were young, what did you imagine yourself becoming?
At the time, I always admired teachers. I still really admire teachers because it takes a lot to be a teacher. But I also really wanted to be a police officer. I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. But as I got older, I realized that, like, police officers have to be, like, tased. Like, they have to go through all this stuff to, like, actually be able to use the stuff on people. And that kind of just shut me down right there. But growing up, too, I also realized there's other stuff, too, that I don't think I'm really fit for it. But,
Sure.
like, I still admire police officers. I still admire teachers. Like, they do amazing work. I just don't think it's meant for me.
Yeah, and that's the fun of growing up.
Without a doubt.
Those things change as your interests grow and develop.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Not that you still don't have that interest. It's just like maybe a little self-aware. And it's probably
Yeah.
not for me. But since we're on that, then now that you're graduating, what are we kind of considering?
I'm leaning more towards marketing and advertising, kind of. I'm in a graphic design class right now, and I really enjoy it. I'm also taking marketing class and management class through DCB right now.
Right?
So I really found a love for, like, getting to know what people want and how to get that to them. I just think it's a lot of fun. I've even done it throughout the summer. My mom's been, like, throwing out ideas of stuff that she can start doing once we're out of school and all that stuff. I'm like, well, I can help you.
Yeah.
Like, what all do you need? Like, I can start naming off things. Like, I can start calling people. And I've even made my dad a poster for his business.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, tell me if you need more. Like,
Yeah.
I gotcha. Stickers, maybe? Like, I'm down.
Well, that's interesting because it uses so many different intelligences. You know, you've got creativity, you've got that business mindedness. So many different challenges involved. Like, what's gonna appeal to people, and how do I make this look really neat? And that's awesome.
Yeah, and I think that's the interesting part, too, is figuring out what people want and then
Yeah.
surprising them when you actually understand them.
Yeah.
I kind of like that experience with the people.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yep, you can kind of see their vision, and you put it to a poster or to a board or to a paper or however you want to look at it. Without question, it's pretty cool. Yeah. How about any other accomplishments you're proud of?
Probably just being able to keep a job and keep my schoolwork up, even in high school. Because right now I have one job, but at one point I had two going on. So keeping up with schoolwork and making sure that I keep communicating with my boss, my employee, like coworkers. It's like, I think that's probably my biggest accomplishment throughout high school, is just making sure that I stay on top of everything, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a lot to manage.
And if there's employees or employers listening, they're probably going, yes, she does that. She communicates with everybody.
That's right.
She calls her coworkers and actually tells us when she's not going to come in.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
that. I mean, that's, I don't know.
Communicates ahead of time.
Right? That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
some people, we took that for granted. And it's like, no, we really welcome that. That's a good quality when people
Yeah.
are upfront and honest and forthright. And no, it's good stuff. How about the extracurricular activities you've been involved with throughout your high school and college, or high school and junior high career?
Yeah. I've been in volleyball since fourth grade, the year you can start it.
Yeah.
It started off with just a thing like, well, let's go try it. Like, might as well.
Sure.
And I've stuck with it ever since then. That's been my thing. So volleyball would be a big thing. I started theater when I was a freshman, which I really enjoy theater. it definitely is a way to get to know your classmates and your peers around school that you don't really talk to. It's just a way to get out of your comfort zone, and that's probably one thing that I've taken from it is getting out of your comfort zone and being embarrassed sometimes.
It's good, right?
It is really good.
One of the things we talk about in theater is if you're not feeling embarrassed, you're not doing enough.
Do a little bit more.
And it's good to take yourself a little lightly every now and then, right? Not be so serious. I mean, that's a good quality, I think.
Yeah.
Fantastic
We'll
quality.
throw a little plug in here, too, because Brooklyn's in the play that we're doing right now, which you can come watch or be Gert on November 22nd and 23rd right here in the old gym.
Yeah, come watch. It's going to be a really good show. It really is.
Fun.
I've heard that from a lot of people that are in it. They're kind of excited about this one. And not that they haven't been excited, but this one seems to have a little different buzz.
It has a lot of suspense to it, which us seniors have wanted that.
Yeah.
Because we went to one, I think, first grade when we still had to walk to the sportsman's. And when we got in there, it was already dark. We were like, ooh, like this is going to be good. But as first graders, we were like terrified.
Yeah.
But we wanted to do that again. We're like, we bring some back some suspense.
Sure.
Like it could still be like fun and joyful, but like we really wanted that suspense and mystery.
Yep.
So I'm really happy with how it's turning out so far, and I can't wait to see the end.
Yeah, it's got a lot of those elements and a ton of jokes.
Oh yeah,
Just fun.
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's good. I'm looking forward to it as well. Anything else? Drama, theater, you said, and volleyball. Anything else?
I'm also active in 4-H. I am the secretary for Carpio Sunshiners.
Okay.
I've been the secretary now for maybe 5 years now. So we're trying to, in our group right now, we're trying to get some shadowing going because our whole entire officer team right now is seniors. We're going to be leaving.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get some new people going. Our group is very small, but we get a lot of things done. We got a lot of awards at this last awards ceremony for how much our club does, how much we're tight-knit and we keep stuff going. We recently just did a trick or canning in Berthold and Carpio where we went around and asked for non-perishable items and helped stock the Berthold food pantry.
That's
And
awesome.
It's crazy how much stuff people donate, and it's crazy how much people need it.
Yeah.
But we're really thankful to everyone that donate and keep donating.
That's great. Fantastic, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
How about let's jump ahead. 10 years from now, where do you see yourself?
To be honest, when I saw this question, I was like, I don't even know what's going on next week, guys. But in 10 years, I'll be like 27 going on 28, which is wild and very weird. But I really want to be in a successful job. Like I think everyone does. I also possibly see myself married at that point. But I got to graduate high school to get there. So
First things first, right?
But yeah.
Yeah, you do. We're just, thinking out loud a little bit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. How about your favorite elementary school memory?
Well, there's a lot of different memories that will just pop back and forth, but the one I always think about is in first grade, Mrs. Neubauer, she would read Junie B. Jones. If you had a free time, like the last 20 minutes of class, she would always read a thing of Junie B. Jones, and that was just our time to relax.
Sure.
And I still remember that to the day of how calming that was, and it's just stuck with me. I love that.
That's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. How about junior high? A little tougher years, but
Yeah,
or can be.
junior high was COVID year for me.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
So it was definitely a
wild.
unique experience. Yeah.
Gosh, it's been that long, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank goodness.
But
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
Sorry.
I think Zoom was really a big thing that I'm glad kind of came out of that because we couldn't go out and see our friends. So I don't know how many movie nights we had on Zoom
Sure.
of just people like, it'd be just the most random thing. Like we're doing homework. We're doing homework on Zoom, and they're like, "Want to do a movie?" We're like, "Sure." I gotta go take a shower, get some popcorn, but sure, meet back in 30. Like, it was just, it was still a fun time. We could find the fun in it, even when it was a rough patch of time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it did open up communication that, wouldn't have been available otherwise. You'd just be
really
isolated by yourself. So at least you still get to see your friends and interact.
The technology did expand.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah.
And that's why it's still here today. I feel like we wouldn't have what we have, like computers. I feel like we wouldn't all have computers right now. I feel like we'd still be doing a lot on paper and pencil, but it's gone a lot of technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might have helped rural America from a technology standpoint.
I think you can make that argument. Absolutely.
It's hard to argue against.
Yeah. We went from computer carts to everybody has a computer.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty big leap.
Yeah.
And you didn't have a choice.
Right.
It was,
Yeah, because that's how teachers get a hold of you. Have time. And
that's right.
It definitely made it easier, too, with online classes now.
Right.
With college classes.
More open.
Yeah, it definitely helps with getting communication with teachers that aren't really in front of you.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. How about high school memory?
I would say it took me kind of a while in this one. There's a lot of different memories that I can't fully give a story about. But I would probably just say the play memories and musical memories, because the one that came to my mind was for Seussical the musical. Just laughing and jumping around with different costumes. There's still feathers everywhere, guys. Backstage,
Yeah,
there
there
is
is.
so many feathers. For Matilda, when we had like not even 5 minutes to spray paint Lane's head green for
That's
that
right.
scene. That I'm pretty sure we inhaled more of those fumes than it went on his head. It was crazy. And even just this year, like, we haven't got much to like the costumes yet or anything that, like, other people consider fun stuff and all the different things, but it's still been a lot of fun with all the backstage, like the inside jokes we have from all of that. So I think that's really impacted a lot of my high school memories.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is. It's fantastic. So you might have already answered this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. But what are you going to miss most about the Berthold School?
Kind of a lot of things. Definitely my classmates, my peers, the small town community, everything that makes Berthold. Because when you think of Berthold, you don't think of this big school with 3 floors and thousands of people. You think of this small community that, without the small community, there wouldn't be a Berthold.
That's correct.
And I absolutely love that. I don't think I'd grow up the way I did if it wasn't for the small town of Berthold that I live in.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to miss all the little things, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agreed. It's hard to argue any of those points. Anything you've enjoyed the most at the Berthold School?
I definitely have enjoyed a lot of things. Some of my favorite classes are definitely Mrs. Rowland classes. Our class really does miss her a lot this year. It just seems weird because whenever you think of like senior class, it's like, go talk to Miss Rowland.
That's right.
It's like, but we have been keeping in touch with Miss Rowland, our class has. So
That's cool.
But yeah, I think her classes are definitely my favorite. There was structure to it, but it didn't feel like it.
Right.
It was very laid back, but also you got stuff done. You didn't realize we just did 3 lessons within a week, and now we're like, the test. We didn't study. Yeah, you did. we know it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and really and I also love choir and music. So any of those classes, Mrs. Helfrich, are awesome because you learn a lot without even realizing it. It's just fun.
True.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's good. Again, you are one of my steadies at the national anthem for ball games.
Yep, I do.
I had to throw that in there. When you mentioned music, I'm like, oh yeah, you are one of my steadies.
I mean, you're a performer. Yeah.
Yeah, I really do enjoy singing. So
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to that kindergarten girl that was talking to the seniors in the lunchroom. What advice right now would you give that girl? Brooklyn, the senior, what advice would she give Brooklyn, the kindergartner?
Oh, boy. Probably don't be late to high school classes because it's not the same way as being late to kindergarten. But also, do you remember always have fun. When I was that age, people would tell me it goes by like that. And I didn't believe a word they said because I'm like, really? Today's been so long. How does years go by that fast?
Yeah.
But it's crazy. There's a lot of stuff that happened, but I don't remember how I got here. Like, it's crazy really how fast it does go. So when that little Brooklyn gets to high school, don't cram your schedule. Have fun. It's 4 years that's going to go by in a hurry.
Yeah.
But the best thing is to have fun.
Yeah. No doubt. 3 things. Now we're going to go back to that 10 years from now. Maybe not. 3 things. We want to know what Brooklyn's got to do. 3 things in your lifetime. What are they?
I'm going to start off with graduating, both high school and college.
Okay. So that's one.
Yep. And then I really want to, once I have my degree, or even if I'm still working to get my degree, I want to, find myself, make sure that's, this is actually what I want to do, what I want to pursue, and then actually just get my dream job. I really don't know what my dream job is right now, because right now it's along the side of marketing and advertising. Mm-hmm. But I don't fully know where that dream job is.
Yep.
So, and then another thing, I'd probably just start a family at one point, because that's just kind of what everyone thinks of at the end. Once you've graduated, you have your job, most likely married at this point, start a family.
Yeah.
I definitely think that's one of my big things that I want to do.
That's great.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to go back. How about when you're talking about your peers that you've been going to school with? How do you want to be remembered by them?
Definitely the kind friend that they can always talk to. Someone that if they need help, they can come to me, or really that person that no matter what happened, you can count on. Because I don't remember a time that I ever told someone no if they asked me
I was
something.
going to say, I think you're well on your way to accomplishing that.
Yeah, I would agree.
I don't think you've missed out.
No.
Yeah, because I never want someone to be afraid of me.
No,
I've been told I've been intimidating, which is surprising, but I've been told I've been pretty intimidating. So I'm like, I don't want anyone to really think that. I want them to know that they can approach me, and I promise I don't bite. So
I see that side of you.
Agreed.
yeah,
I see that side in the hallways, in the classroom, and then I also see that even at volleyball games, right? I watched that young lady who's sitting on the bench who celebrates all the different things that go on during the course of that match. You're not just sitting there, you're celebrating the whole thing. And it's I notice that type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Body language is important to me. And you've constantly portray good stuff. So I will tell you that.
thank you.
How about from your faculty? How do you want to be remembered?
Definitely just a respectful student and responsible, and still that person that I'm getting my stuff done. You don't have to worry about me. I'm not going off and doing things that I shouldn't be. I'm in class, I'm learning, and just making sure that I'm being responsible of my own. So I don't need to be having someone count on worrying about me. I don't know how to word that. Just I'm capable of being my own person. I want them to know that I'm a good student.
Yeah, you are. You're all
no
the
need
things
to worry about me.
All above. Responsible, good
Absolutely.
student, good listener.
Oh, yeah.
All those things involved. How about anything else? We miss on anything? Anything you got? Anything else you got to tell the Bomber Buzz people?
Not really. Just I'm gonna add back on to the play since that's coming up in a really quick hurry.
Just a few weeks.
Yeah. Definitely come and see it. Whether you can make both days, one day. There's a performance for our school at
Friday afternoon.
Yeah. So if you can make all 3 of them, heck, come do it, because just because you see one performance doesn't mean you can't miss something else in the next one. So,
Well, I think we've learned through the years that every performance is unique.
oh yeah.
Remember last year when all the mics stopped working?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. You gotta come to the next one, make sure they are working.
That's right. You just never know what's going to happen.
You never
So,
do. That's the fun of it. So
It is.
definitely come show your support, and we'll hope to see you there. So,
What's your plans after high school here? Like media plans?
I was recently accepted into MSU,
Great.
so I'll be attending MSU in the fall for marketing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
A couple alums here, so
Yeah.
we're all on board. Let's go.
I'm a beaver.
Sweet.
I actually started my undergrad was as a marketing student.
Oh, nice.
It ended up just being a minor for me, but
Yeah.
it's a great program. So
Yeah,
it's
I'm
awesome.
really excited for it.
Go Beavers.
Heck yeah. I've gotten a lot of emails already from professors for like the marketing program, the
Yes.
arts program. So I'm really excited to start. So yeah, go Beavers
awesome.
That's right.
and go Bombers.
Let's go.
Go Bombers. That's right.
Good stuff, Brooklyn.
All right. Well, Brooklyn, congratulations on your career here at Berthold. And I know it's early in the year, but I feel pretty secure in saying that we're looking forward to watching you graduate.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I think we should get there, huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll make it.
That's my goal.
That was Brooklyn Bloms. We got more coming up on the Bomber Buzz. Berthold Grain and Seed is a farmer seed company. They specialize in seed sales and feed grade and seed conditioning. Berthold Grain and Seed strives to provide the best and newest varieties that are conditioned to meet their high standards. As a family-owned company, they live their core values of quality, integrity, service, people, and trust. Their motto, a farmer's seed and agronomy company, reminds us daily that their business is built around satisfying the needs of their customers with information they have learned over a long legacy of their own farm. Berthold Grain and Seed is a proud sponsor of the Bomber Nation. We're back on the Bomber Buzz, and joining us now is Mrs. Grayce Taylor. She is going to be talking to us today about FCA. She is the advisor. So let's just start real quick with a little bit. Can you tell us about what FCA is and what you do as an advisor?
Yeah. So FCA stands for Fellowship of Christian Athletes, so pretty much the whole purpose is it's a kind of a Bible study, or it's just a group. It's a group where students can talk about their faith and kind of meet with other kids who also, share those same beliefs. Now, it does say athletes, but it is not just for athletes. It is for all students. But yeah, I guess as an advisor, this year at least, I lead a lot of we kind of have like Bible studies at 7:30 on Tuesday mornings. And so, yeah, as advisor, I kind of lead that. But then it also has opened a lot of doors for kids, who really value their faith, for them to even just come and ask for advice at times, or if they need guidance or wisdom. It's really opened a door for that as well. So it really is not just reserved for Tuesday mornings. It's kind of turned into a lot more than that. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. You can share that with them. They can share that with you.
Yeah.
It is pretty cool, and it's very interesting to see the expansion that has taken place from when we first advertised a little over a year ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe even 2 years ago now.
It's been 2 years now?
I think so. It was my first year teaching.
Oh, my goodness. It's been 2 years.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
that
cow.
would be two then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Time flies.
I think we had 8.
Yeah.
Maybe 7.
I know. It was small, yeah.
I think we've had up to 22, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. The first week we had 26.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that was the
Okay.
first week. And then it's kind of varied. I don't think it's quite hit 26 again. I mean, I don't think.
Well, I'm sure it fluctuates depending on student schedules.
Yeah, and
which
Yes.
they've
is
got
always
play
changing.
practice going on a little bit now
Yes,
too.
yes.
So
That's
there's
right.
things. I mean, they get torn in a lot of different directions,
Yeah.
but there's a pretty fair amount of young ladies and young men that
Yeah.
show up and visit. And just as
Yeah.
Grayce was alluded to, she leads, does a fantastic job. It's entertaining, it's engaging, and they all get an opportunity to visit about things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been really good.
Yeah. 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 It has been fun. Actually, how I first got into FCA was I didn't do FCA when I was in school, but before I even took the job at Berthold, I'd been debating, like, I'd been, praying about it, and like, should I take the job? I don't know. Is this what I'm supposed to do? And then I get a call from Rudolph and I'm like, hi. And he's like, hey, I'm the dean of students. And he immediately starts out, yeah, I actually think you'd be a great candidate to start FCA here at the school. Yeah. And I was like, well, I said, it was like a huge open door for me because I never even thought of that. Like, oh yeah, my faith that I could actually incorporate it into school in like a legal way, Right. And so, and I mentioned to him, I said, well, I'm praying about it and I'm kind of just waiting for God to give me a sign, but maybe this is my sign to take the job. And he's like, yeah, I would say so. And so yeah, even that, it was first petition.
Well, I remember even after your interview, we had already been talking about wanting, FCA, there were students that expressed that they wished that they had a way to share their faith in school together. And I remember after your interview, we had talked, and it was like, I bet she would love that.
Yeah.
And it would be a great fit. So I'm glad he called you and talked about that. So if I'm a student and I'm going to go check out FCA, what can I expect?
Yeah. Well, we usually have donuts because we do provide breakfast. So usually we have donuts in the morning. And it's 30 minutes. So it's really not that long of a time.
Sure.
But we've kind of varied depending on what we've done. We've done books in the past where, like last year, we did this series all about questions and like doubts that students have about faith. And we just talked about it. And it was a great curriculum. We used that last year and we'll probably do that again this year. But so far we've just been kind of like laying down the foundations of who is God, who's the Holy Spirit. And so we'll read scripture, and then usually they get to talk amongst their groups and stuff. But yeah, so it's kind of just a time just to learn, I guess. I think my biggest thing with FCA is, showing kids that there's more to their faith than just the regular just going to church on Sunday. That, our God desires a relationship with us. And I think a lot of us, we just get so caught up in life and we're like, why am I struggling? Why am I having such a hard time? And it's like, well, guess what? There's a God who cares, and he wants to know you. And so I think, my heart is like showing these kids, trying to show them the heart of God. And I feel like I've seen it in our students, how they've come to know God in a more intimate way. Even the seniors last year, that was a huge thing. Like, watching them grow, like they would talk about how they were talking to God, and that wasn't how it started, and they grew in that, and so it's been really exciting. Yeah. So it's kind of
that's really great.
Yeah,
it's great that they can express that faith with each other and talk things out. That's how you figure things out.
Yes,
I think the other thing that, as I sit back and watch, is in that half hour, the confidence that each one of them starts to gain.
Yeah.
Sure.
And, some will walk in and like, oh, should I say anything? I'm just going to kind of sit here. And 2 weeks later, they're talking about this and engaging with the people across from them. And it's, that's one thing I've certainly noticed as I kick back in my corner. No, it's really good.
Really
it's been fantastic.
Yeah.
It really has. It's been fantastic. Yeah. The only negative is I get a lot of grief about just bringing maple donuts. Can you believe that? I'm like, you got to be joking me.
I've benefited off of that and not complained once.
No, I'm like, you got to be joking me. It's like, Rudolph, why do you always bring maple? You just always bring maple. I'm like, well, I like maple.
Yes.
Well, some of us like chocolate. I'm like, well, you deal with maple.
You're going to take what I bring.
I know, seriously. After he told me that, I was like, maybe we need to have a lesson on gratefulness because we're still bringing you donuts.
Yeah. That's right. Awesome. So it meets on Tuesdays.
Yes. Yeah. Tuesday mornings at 7:30. So and we have, if students are interested, we do have a Remind group chat. So they just have to reach out to me and I can get them in that group chat. And that's great because sometimes there's mornings or, it's like we need the reminder the day before, like, by the way, there's FCA tomorrow. Or sometimes the reminder that, by the way, we don't have FCA tomorrow, so please don't show up early. So there's a group chat that we communicate.
And if someone wants to be involved and they're not, they can just come talk to you, or they can just show up.
Yeah, they could just show up, or they could talk to Rudolph or I. And it's been a great group, and I'm excited. I definitely did not expect it to be this big this year. Like after last year, a lot of our kids were the seniors, and I was just like, okay, God, I was praying. I'm like, it doesn't have to be big to make an impact. And
it could be two.
Yes, there could be two or one. Because I know that God cares about the one, but at the same time, I was like, I just was like, well, it's just in your hands. And that first day, I sat back and it was like, God was kind of like, yeah, this is what happens when it's in my hands. Like these, he's like, he just puts that little spark or that curiosity in them, and it's like, and they're coming. So yeah. So Tuesday, 7:30.
All right. Well, that's fantastic. If you're interested in knowing more about FCA, you can contact Mrs. Taylor or Mr. Rudolph. I'm sure they'd be happy to talk with you about that. If you're interested, if you're a student and you want to be involved, just come on out. Come on out at 7:30. Stop by.
Yeah.
You don't need an invite. This is it. You're welcome.
Yes.
So, well, Grayce, thanks for chatting with us here today. We've got more coming up. The people of Farmers Union Oil believe in the community and in the people that work there. From gas and parts to food and friendship, Farmers Union Oil is powered by local people and provides for the community's needs. Make sure to stop in at one of their locally owned 4 locations in Berthold, Carpio, Donnybrook, and Burlington. Farmers Union Oil is a proud sponsor of the Bomber Nation. You've been listening to the Bomber Buzz. This is our weekly podcast hosted right here in the Bomber Nation. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to like and subscribe so that you get notified of all of our new episodes. We try to post new episodes on Fridays every week so that you can be informed of all the latest things coming in, going throughout the Bomber Nation and the school. If there's something that you would like to hear, or if you'd like to make an appearance on the podcast, we'd be happy to have you. Just let us know. You can contact myself, Principal Jacob Jenkins, or Dean of Students, Mr. Paul Rudolph, either by email at jacob.jenkins@k12.nd.us or paul.rudolph@k12.nd.us, or simply call the school at 453-3484. We'd be happy to have you on or talk about what's interesting to you. We thank you for listening. Fly high, Bombers.